ní àwọn ọjọ́ tó ti kọjá.
That we are just of yesterday.
Nítorí pé ọmọ àná ni àwa.
That they will talk to us.
Tó wọ́n ó sì sọ fún wa.
Now, how can we inquire from our fathers that are long gone?
Bó la ṣe lè béèrè lọ́wọ́ àwọn bàbá wa tá à ń sọ yìí.
It is by the record of the Bible.
Nípa àkọsílẹ̀ inú ìwé mímọ́.
What the Bible tells us about them.
Ohun tí Bíbélì sọ nípa wọn fún wa.
We are to learn from what happened to them.
Pé ká lè kẹ́kọ̀ọ́ lórí ohun tó ṣẹlẹ̀ sí
So we want to learn from a king today.
Torí náà lónìí a fẹ́ kẹ́kọ̀ọ́ lórí ọba kan.
He was a king in Judah.
Ó jẹ́ ọba lórí Júdà.
And you know, Israel used to be together before as one nation.
Gẹ́gẹ́ bí orílẹ̀-èdè bí Ísírẹ́lì a mọ̀ pẹ́tẹ́tẹ́lẹ̀ kí wọ́n gbé papọ̀ bí orílẹ̀-èdè ṣọ̀kan.
But at some point they broke.
Ní àsìkò kan dé wọ́n wá pínyà.
We now had the southern kingdom of Israel called Judah, and then the northern kingdom of Israel called Israel.
Wọ́n wá mú abala apá àríwá ni wọ́n pè ní ilẹ̀ Júdà, wọ́n sì mú apá ìwọ̀ oòrùn rẹ̀ wọ́n pè ní ìlú-lédè Ísírẹ́lì.
Please. Are we on? So they said we are on. Okay, so bless those who want to hear it in Yoruba can go to the Yoruba class. We had two kingdoms. One was called Israel, and the other one was called Judah. And what caused this breaking was the adultery and the idolatry of Solomon. You remember God told him, because of his idolatry and because of his adultery, he was going to divide the kingdom into two. That he was going to give Jeroboam 10 tribes, and those 10 tribes formed the northern kingdom of Israel. And Jeroboam was ruling them. Then the southern kingdom called Judah, it was Rehoboam that was ruling them, because the kingdom was not divided in the time of Solomon. God just declared to him that he was going to divide it, but that it will not be in his time. So it was in the time of his son Rehoboam that the kingdom was divided. So the lineage of David continued to rule the southern part, that is Judah and Benjamin. They were formerly calling it Judah and Benjamin, but at a point they began to call it Judah. And Jerusalem was the headquarters of the southern part, that is Judah. And Samaria remained the capital of the northern kingdom of Israel. Now, after Rehoboam reigned, the son of Rehoboam, you know, that's the way they succeed each other. When the father dies, one of the sons step in. After Rehoboam, we have the son of Rehoboam coming in, and that was Abijah. Then Abijah too, when he died, his son took over. And the son of Abijah happened to be Asa. So it is this Asa we want to talk about. But first, what's the background? That is, what were the things that were happening in the time before Asa took over the reign in Judah? Let's look at that. 1 Kings chapter 14, sorry. 1 Kings 14. Let's look at some of the things so that we know the background. 1 Kings chapter 14. First Kings 14, that verse 21 to 24. It says, and Rehoboam, the son of Solomon, reigned in Judah. Rehoboam was 40 and 1 year old, 40 and 1 years old when he began to reign, and he reigned 17 years in Jerusalem, the city which the Lord did choose out of all the tribes of Israel, to put his name there. And his mother's name was Naamah, an Ammonitess. And Judah did evil in the sight of the Lord, and they provoked him to jealousy with their sin. which they had committed, above all that their fathers had done. For they also built them high places and images and groves on every high hill and under every green tree. And there were also Sodomites in the land. And they did according to all the abominations of the nations, which the Lord cast out before the children of Israel. So, after the reign of Solomon, the person that stepped in, Rehoboam, this was a short history of what happened. Said there were Sodomites in the land. Homosexuals were in the land. A lot of corruption, a lot of evil in his time. You know, I told you, after Rehoboam reigned, then Abijah, his son, took over. Let's look at 2 Chronicles. 2 Chronicles 15. We are still looking at things that happened. We want to know the background. Things that happened before Asa came to reign, to rule in Judah. 2 Chronicles, that chapter 15, verses 3 to 6. It says, now for a long season, Israel had been without the true God, and without a teaching priest, and without law. But when they in their trouble did turn unto the Lord God of Israel, and sought him, he was found of them. And in those times there was no peace to him that went out, nor to him that came in, but great vexation were upon all the inhabitants of the countries, and nation was destroyed of nation, and city of city. For God did vex them with all adversity. So this was the atmosphere before this man called Asa took over. Say, there was no peace for those going out and those coming in. Said in Israel, there was no true God. Israel was without true God. Said there was no teaching priests. Said there was no law. So everybody was just doing what they liked. It's only occasionally you just see some few, sometimes Judah will just do as if they want to serve God. But before you know it, they will slide into darkness again. So this was the atmosphere that pervaded before Asa became king in Judah. Just like we have in our country now. You see, everybody is tired. There's corruption in high places and in low places. There's darkness. People have lost confidence in government. That was the kind of a thing that was happening at that time in Judah when Asa came in. So Asa came in, and we had his reign from that 2 Chronicles chapter 14 to chapter 15 to chapter 16. Those places cataloged all the things that this man did. So we are going to look at the second part of this teaching. We will look at Asa's reforms, revival, and good works. The outline with you, it was produced in a hurry, so I'm going to be making some additions and some corrections. So just follow me and make the necessary adjustments in your outline. You see the reforms and the good deeds of this man called Asa in 2 Chronicles 14 and 15. By the time you get to 2 Chronicles 16, you see another side of it. You see another side of the story. So let us consider Asa's reforms, his revival, and good works. There was some good works this man did. Let's go to 2 Chronicles chapter 14. 2 Chronicles 14. From that verse, Yes, 2 Chronicles 14, from that verse 1. So Abijah slept with his fathers, and they buried him in the city of David, and Asa his son reigned in his stead. In his days, the land was quiet